spoke pretty good Spanish.
Yeah, it's.
Are you Hispanic?
Yeah, it's
And-
Univision, so they're pretty.
What?
Pretty good. Univision, Arizona.
I'm sorry?
Univision, Arizona, Spanish station.
Oh, you did? How did it do? I don't speak Spanish.
Oh yeah, she spoke to you in English.
Oh, she did. Well, anyway, I was interested. I am interested in alternative point of view.
AP and Fox 10 just came, and then ABC. So
Are they here? The big guys?
yeah, they're here. They're probably trying to find a crossing spot.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're here on your own. You're not an agent provocateur, are you?
No.
That's a French word or a foreign word for somebody that wants to make trouble. My motto is separation of powers. I guess you're the Second Amendment thing is your your issue. Yeah, I as I said, I have guns myself, but I believe in I believe there should be some kind of control. Ooh, nice girl. Yeah, separation of powers is also an issue too. Oh, look, there's a guy from the news there. All right. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
I got a slightly different point of view if you want to take it.
Great, I will.
All righty, I'll be around. And my different point of view is separation of powers.
Yeah.
You can't let the guy has shown himself to be a partisan,
Yeah,
and you
for
can't
sure.
you can't have that is absolutely for sure.
Right.
A dumb friend of mine, he didn't hear the first part. He didn't hear the ladies talk. He's arguing, he's doing the Kavanaugh argument of how unfair it is.
Oh, yeah.
But he said, you didn't hear the beginning part or the credibility. True that I have known people like that, and yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They force themselves on women and stuff, the frat boys. But assuming I said all that is not so, he showed himself to be a partisan and not indifferent. And it's really part of the breakdown of the separation of powers.
That's exactly right.
And that's on the
Taking
Constitution.
meetings at the White House for a week before.
Yeah, and being put there.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be impartial, and if you don't have the faith in the government that the courts are impartial, there's no faith at all.
And that's where we're headed.
Now that fellow there, he says I think his issue is Second Amendment. So I said, well, I have guns myself, but we can't let a 17-year-old go and buy an assault rifle with a criminal record and then with all the clips of ammunition without anybody asking a question.
That's exactly
And then they shoot up a school. Yeah, and then of course there's this Russian lady that's a provocateur, and she's all for. Apparently Putin is also for American gun rights too.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
fantasy is they're going to get their guns and stop a Russian invasion.
Yeah, right.
The truth is the Russians like it because it disrupts the country. Well, how's that trial going on with that lady? I haven't heard.
Yeah,
My friend is falling in love with her. I said, well,
it's like a Netflix show is what it is.
it is. Well, hey, that's where
She's
they're.
a red sparrow. Who doesn't fall in love with a red sparrow, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Certainly Boris did. Oh, wait. Hey, what? I heard they had to take the umbrellas down because they were intimidating.
Right.
Who said that?
Some group, some patriot group.
Patriot Group. Oh, good.
Yeah, they're just messing with us. That's all. They're just messing with us any way they can.
And umbrellas down because I said, what is this, Batman with the penguin? We'll throw an egg at you. Well, they can have their Second Amendments. Separation of powers biased on the part of the judge, which has nothing to do with, if no allegation was made, that's what I believe. Oh, look at that.
Sorry. What do you need?
I think I could talk to that army guy before I go.
I could ask my son. He works there. Do you want me to?
Oh, that's okay. I'll just run over because there's also this.
Hey, how you doing? Oops. Do you want to talk to my lousy little YouTube site that I put things on?
Is that what you got?
Yeah. A little camera. See how big their cameras are?
Yeah,
I got camera envy here.
Yeah, I just came out because I'm just totally disgusted with the hearings.
Oh, so is you're not alone either
Yeah,
side.
I'm sure. That's why. But so that's why some friends of mine come out here every Friday to do this. And I thought, well, today would be a good day to join them. You know.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that. Well, I will say, before I left the house, I heard Senator Flake.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Holding off for about a week. Excuse me a second. Yeah, so I'm in that regard, I'm very thankful that at least he stands up. You know, even though he's going out, he won't be running for re-election. But I think he's doing a great thing for the American people, in spite of what his colleagues might be thinking.
Oddly enough, he's probably helping the Republican Party.
Well, yeah, you're right. You know, because they're going to say, well, you know, he was doing good. But yeah, I think it could go either way.
Well, first they'll hate him, and then they're going to like him.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But the reason is he's going to lose a lot of voters and a lot of faith in America if this guy Kavanaugh gets in office, I believe. Now, my take is this. I've said it a few times. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine that did not hear the very compelling testimony from Professor Dr. Ford. So he was feeling sorry for Kavanaugh and what a bad deal he was getting. So I said, look, if Kavanaugh had done nothing at all, which apparently he has done, the fact he's biased against the Democratic Party, he shows a bias and is breaking down the separation of powers.
Exactly.
And that's, if no other reason, and we know from his speech that we can prove that he's partisan and should not be on the court.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be nonpartisan. He's also, to take it further, a Trump crony who will try to get that criminal off the hook when they haven't.
Exactly. I think ultimately, I think the bottom line, the only thing I have to say is that he's just a Trump shield.
That's right.
You know, that's all, just a Trump shield.
Oh yeah. Hey, you want an opinion? We got opinions.
Yeah. So you know, that's kind of about it. So we can hope for what we can get, but you know, knowing the Republicans, he's like Trump. He's going to change his mind right away, and they're going to find out. Well, it's not practical for us to do this. So.
I'll tell you what to do. If you want to catch me on the YouTube site, I put it under Supreme Court rally, but I put the date.
Okay.
What date's the date?
28th.
20. Yeah. I'll have that down when I upload it in about a week.
That, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a week. I'll put it up, maybe sooner, and then you can see yourself talking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I don't have any problem. You know, when I have something to say, I'll say something to say, but when I don't, I don't. I mean, you know.
Actually, I thought with all your stuff that you were kind of like representing the pro-Trump with.
No. I'm a Democrat. Always been. Always
So
will
have I.
be.
My father learned that back during the Great Depression.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but most military guys, they feel they have to be Republicans.
I noticed that.
But you know, I just never felt that way. I try to.
I'll tell you what's even worse.
Well, we sign up. We sign up to defend the Constitution.
I know some people from the alt-right that are also Air Force. What's with the Air Force and the alt-right? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't copy that at all.
I know 3 of them right in my college I take classes. What's with the alt-right and the Air Force? I hear they have.
No, I tell you, there's some weird people everywhere. So all right.
Yeah, well.
Good talking to you, my friend.
Yeah, I just catch the rest. I'm getting a little bit. The heat is starting to melt me a little. So.
I understand. You're a little hot. Yeah, you might want a little hydration in you there.
Yeah, I do. Oh, Alrighty. Hey, I was saying that even if they don't believe at all in the, discounting what he did with the women or his opinion, the idea that he's a biased, he's a partisan for the Republican Party, eliminates the separation of powers. That's what I believe. So if I got an idiot who won't believe a woman no matter what he does or says, at least we got somebody that... the other argument is separation of powers. He's a Trump crony. I was going to... I say the man is shown biased and it's against the separation of powers, basically. If you disregard any kind of women's rights on this, you should at least regard that. Constitutionalist, my eye. Live streaming. was that all about? If I might ask politely.
Sure. After I was in the Air Force, I went and became a New York City cop.
Oh, right. I was in New York City. Yes, go on.
And then after I left New York City, after I left the police force, I worked for the union in Seattle, Washington.
Union.
And I represented 10 police departments, public works, fire, office clerical employees. But I listened to the Kavanaugh fiasco, and it was difficult for me to understand how they could not vote to affirm him when
Not vote to confirm him?
yes, because all of, the woman who went and reported him had no evidence. It was just her word. The people she went and said, so-and-so, 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 all of them were there. The Senate sent their investigators, and their investigators came back with signed statements stating that these things never took place, that it never happened. 65, 70 women from his high school days came forth and said, that's not...
If you were a
Brett
New York
Kavanaugh.
policeman and I murdered someone, couldn't you get 65 people to sign that I hadn't murdered? And it's kind of funny that Bill Cosby was convicted this very, was sentenced 2 days earlier. Do you think that was timing on the part of any kind of plot?
No, I don't think that had anything to...
Okay, so you don't believe...
I wouldn't go and condemn anybody for that. But if you're going to get convicted in a court of law,
Oh, yeah.
you need evidence.
Yeah, they also say this is a job interview, not a court of law. I mean, in other words, if I was going to get a job and somebody said that this guy, a woman, and by the way, before we go on, did you hear the lady speak? Did you hear her?
Oh, sure, I heard her speak.
Did you think it was credible?
Do I think it was credible?
You think she was lying?
Yeah, I think something happened to her. I don't know if it was actually Brett Kavanaugh.
She says she won't forget. Have you ever known preppy? I've known preppy people who drink a lot of beer and would do just that. Their idea was to assault women. Also remember too, as a New York cop, there's other evidence they haven't brought up, and they've kind of suppressed it in the hearing. There's more evidence going to come out.
Yeah, what's going to happen is Flake has agreed to put it off for 1 week.
To do an investigation.
To do a FBI investigation. When that comes back squeaky clean, what are you liberals going to do then?
Me liberals? How do you know I'm a liberal?
You're not a liberal.
Yeah, well, tell you what.
You just look like a liberal.
Oh, you're Michael Moore. Hey, tell me, so it's tribalistic. Do you also, as a New York cop, what did you think of colored people as well as liberals? Now, that's the whole point. Now Kavanaugh, I'm going to say this. They had a very, partisan speech, how he said, blaming the Democrats and the liberals. Should a person, assuming that there was no sexual allegations at all, should a person that biased sit on the highest court in the land if he's got a bias? Also, too, he's also going to let Trump off the hook. And you've lived in New York, and so have I. And one thing I know about New York, you can't be a New York developer and keep your hands squeaky clean. So Trump has definitely, in this past, has committed crimes. In fact, that whole thing with the Trump University was also a fraud, too. Remember, right before the election. So he's getting a Supreme Court justice that he handpicked that will let him off. And you have what they call separation of powers. If the Senate has given up the separation of power to the presidency, the executive branch, then you can't have, then what he's trying to do is take over the executive branch as well. And even though you villainize Michael Moore, he brings that up, that you cannot You have all the power in one hand, and Trump is an idiot. Like, ask me a question. Is Trump a liar? Is Trump a liar?
Do you
Wait,
do,
is Trump a liar?
do you ever?
Is Trump a liar?
No, Trump's not a liar.
He's not a liar,
Yes.
and he always tells the truth.
No. Okay. He does like most people do, like you just did, embellish. But besides that, you
He
know,
embellishes.
yeah.
He
Besides,
embellishes a lot.
yeah, but you're gonna let me talk, or you're gonna talk
Oh no,
all day?
no! You can have plenty of time. I'm just going to make a quick statement. I got I got an hour's worth of video and another camera.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, would you like to see it on the video?
No.
What you do is you look up the date, and you can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
Because
Let me-
you'll get 3 people will follow me.
Okay. This I wanted
He
to.
embellishes. Wait! I got to hear this again. Trump does not lie. He merely equivocates.
If you let me speak,
Yes.
okay? Because you started.
You know what they say
Bye.
about give a man a rope and he'll hang himself? Go ahead, speak. I'll say nothing. You got 4 minutes.
Sure. I will start with, do you have anything against black people? I have a Marine Sergeant Major who had a stroke on Ash Wednesday, and I've been going out of my way to go and drive him every day to the gym.
That's nice.
He's black. Okay? I have nothing against black people.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. In fact, some of my best friends are that. The second thing is, I believe in the rule of law, which obviously the Democrats don't. So, you know, I just look down and see what they're doing and how they're doing it. They're crucifying a man who was nominated. They are going and saying, this is the way he's going to vote. This is what he's going to do. And you can't do that. You can't project yourself that way. It's wrong. What we have to do is have understanding and love and work together to make things better.
Go on. I'm
Have
sorry.
a nice day.
Oh no, you still got 2 months. Don't panic.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Oh. Separation of powers, separation of powers.
What happened?